Hey there, we wanted to check in with another weekly review to hit you with some information as it's been a crazy day in the markets. It's been a crazy week over the last 5 market days, but today particularly after we got Nvidia earnings last night and then we got jobs data this morning. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. And not that you should be watching this with a microscope, but if you happen to be watching it, you would notice that we had an unbelievable blockbuster quarter out of Nvidia. So every publicly traded company has to report earnings every quarter. And you dissected the earnings last night of Nvidia. I mean, they were amazing, right?
No, it was unbelievable. Revenue significantly over expectations, earnings significantly over expectations. Jensen Huang basically came out and said, business is way better than people even know. It's just unbelievable.
And he even addressed the idea that there's an AI bubble, which has been sort of going around, and people have been calling into question the valuation, something we've been concerned with all year. But nonetheless, he even said, we're not seeing that.
Yeah, he basically said, people are saying a bubble, we're saying they're just getting started.
Yeah, so I think it was $56 or $57 billion in revenue in one quarter, which is a far cry from the $4 billion in a quarter that they made just a few years ago. So to see this company ramp up is amazing. But something interesting happened. And that is, overnight, the market was very excited about this. Nvidia, after hours, was trading much higher. This morning, the stock was trading almost 4% higher. And if you turned on any media news outlet, I mean, it was even difficult for me to listen to, because it was like this big cheerleader. It's almost like, you know, hey, we win one game, we're going to win the national championship, right? We're kind of accustomed to that in this city, right? Oh, we won a game, like we're winning it all. And you're like, okay, let's slow the roll a little bit. But what was fascinating is this morning, we also had economic data. Now, economic data has been interesting because it's been delayed, right?
We haven't gotten it since the government's been shut down for 6 weeks, effectively. We didn't get the jobs data, which is probably the most important data point that the Federal Reserve is looking at when they're evaluating what to do with interest rates. So for 6 weeks, we had none of it. We just now got not the October data, the September data that came out this morning.
And what was fascinating about the September data, it was very positive.
Yeah.
Despite what we've been hearing over the last couple of weeks, which kind of comes into question, is September data as current, you know?
We've seen revisions before, needless to say.
For sure, but it was positive. And what was interesting is, if you watched it again in real time, you had Nvidia's earnings. Oh, this is amazing. The stock's trading higher, and all stocks are up on that news. And people are actually adding jobs. Oh my goodness, isn't this amazing? And very quickly, it was almost as if people woke up mid-morning and said, now wait a second. How good can Nvidia continue to be? That's number one, right? And number two, if the jobs market is still relatively hot, why would the Fed cut rates?
That's right.
And that's not great for stocks. And we have now seen today one of the sharpest reversals I have seen in a very long time.
So to break down the language, when we talk about reversal, that's market was really positive throughout the morning, right around 11 o'clock, completely shift to red.
To the tune of the NASDAQ being up 2.5%. And before we were cutting this video, it's down 1%. That 3.5% swing, if you remember long ago, we did a risk metric, and I talked about the weather. And I said it's very similar to the weather. Sometimes in Kentucky, in April, it snows, and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun's out. Like, it's crazy, but it happens. And that's what seems to be happening in the market. Incredible volatile swings. But you know what? I love our positioning.
That's right.
Because it's almost like when my child used to throw a fit, I could engage. I just set them in the corner. Here's a book. You control yourself. Get your emotions under control. Dad and mom are going to be over here. You handle this.
Let's wait it out and watch and see.
And that's exactly what we're doing in this market. We've been in a conservative position for a very long time. We continue to bring you our messaging on that. That should be no surprise. There's a variety of reasons we're in this camp. And oh, by the way, we're not guessing. We're not all of a sudden, pulling straws out of the air and hoping that we're right. We have a lot of data that is informing our decision. So despite this chaotic up and down that's happening in the market, I dare say we feel pretty good today.
Yeah, I think so too. And there's a lot more data than just those 2 points. I think one that I read into deeply this week was Home Depot when they came out with earnings, and it was under expectations. So not like Nvidia. It wasn't gangbusters report. It was under expectations because it seems like folks out there are starting to change their habits.
We have to be careful.
Yeah.
I would agree. Lowe's wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
And
decent.
Walmart this morning was exceptional.
Yeah.
So it's hit or miss.
It's confusing. It's almost like
very
uncertain. So
Yeah.
you hear the Nvidia news, you hear Walmart news, you hear Home Depot news, and there's not really a lot of clarity out
It's very uncertain. It's a time to do less. Again, the time to determine to do less was months ago, not today.
there. Right.
And I love that. And I again, so rest assured, we're watching, we're on it, right? Logan and I are observing it every minute of every day, almost a little too close at times, but nonetheless, we're in no rush to do anything at all. Be patient, watch how this unfolds, enjoy your Thanksgiving,
Absolutely.
and let's not worry about it, and let's sort of approach it with a more unemotional approach down the line.
Absolutely. We'll be back with you with more updates as this continues to unfold. Make it a great weekend.